Hi guys, so today I just finished up the review for this stuff, so I want to move on. I want to go ahead and tackle some of this vintage lace collection from Crafter's Companion. Now, I bought the mini collection on Crafter's Companion site, and then the mini collection that they brought to HSN was a little bit different. It had a little bit different items in it. So this is what I got from Crafter's Companion, and then I bought some paper packs separately. I think I still have some items that are coming in that haven't arrived yet, but this is the bulk of it. And then, like I said, I bought the paper separately. So I think on Crafter's Companion, it was just like basically the dies and things. I just noticed there's no stamps in here. Are there really stamps in the vintage lace collection? I don't remember. I'm sure there are. I don't remember exactly how this kit came. I think it was these things, and then I bought the paper and the small paper pack separately. It was like 20 bucks for these three things, and then I bought the large paper pad separately, and I already went through all the papers recently in the haul where I got it yesterday's haul. So these are the 6x6 small paper pads that are sized down and adorable. Oops, sorry. And then we have the luxury pearl card that coordinates, and we have the luxury linen card. And then I also had yesterday in the same haul of the paper pads, I had gotten the little kit of edgeables. And somebody had made a mention that she has a hard time with her edgeables, so I am going to use the edgeable this time, even though this isn't part of the collection, but I think it kind of goes with it. So I'll pick one of these, maybe this one, that's pretty, to try it out on a card. And really my main focus today was to try and use the flower dies, the foam flower dies, and maybe throw in a butterfly or two. We'll see. There are card, 3D cut out, cut and embossed cards, embossing folders, what am I saying? And then the regular embossing folder, I don't know if I'll be using those, but I will try to use what I can. There's also these little ovals that are really pretty. So it's not the whole collection, like I said, but it was a mini collection, plus I bought the paper separately. And then we have the foam flower, the flower forming foam. And what I do like what Crafter's Companion does this is they layer up their paper so you can see what's in here. And they're really cool about doing this in a way that you can still use this paper, you can still use this piece of foam. And then even usually the last one that's a whole size is also like just an extra piece, because it's not usually counted in what's in here, but this time it might be, I don't know, because this is the flower foam, it's not the same as the other papers. They normally just leave that as an extra. It looks like it's counted in the package. So there's 3, 3, and 3, and then you have some extra pieces here. So I was gonna do this flower forming the other day, and so that's why I've been sitting here with a little travel iron on my desk for the last few days. So I'm gonna use this. I did use the foil press the last time I reviewed them, and that works out and that's fine. But Sarah had mentioned that if you use your foil press or leave it on for a long time with the heat, that it might start warping, and mine did start warping. I doubt it's because of that, but well, only because I've only done it one time is what I'm trying to say. So I think the rest of it warping is just from use. But I'm not gonna endanger a $100 item, instead of I'll just use this little $10 travel iron I got on Amazon a long time ago. So I'll talk about that in a minute. We have to get everything else ready. So let me think about what I want to do. What I'm gonna do is look at this stuff and think about what it is that I feel like doing. And then I'll come back with we'll try both flowers just to see the difference. We have the stamens. I'll take out some of the stuff here and a card base, do the edgeable and all that, and we'll see what we come up with. Okay, so what I decided is we'll do kind of like what they're showing here, like a sideways kind of cut. And just a basic card. And what's funny is that, their paper is A4 size paper, and people ask me where I get my A4 size paper. I don't look for it. It just comes this way from Crafter's Companion because they use European sizing. I did want to show you what I meant about the paper whenever they give you an extra one. It's because they cut into it so that it looks nice in the front of the package. So when they cut into it like this, it's basically a free piece of paper. It does have some cuts at the bottom. And then you have these other 2 accent pieces that you can still use. So I always like that. It's like a little bonus. And then I chose a couple of pieces of paper from here, but I'll tell you the dimensions right now. So these are still 6x6, obviously. They're just taken out of the package. So I have those. Let me get a little bit closer. What am I doing here? Okay. And then I cut, again, their A4 size paper is however wide. It's a little bit different than ours. And it's 11 3/4, almost 11 3/4. It's just shy of 11 3/4 tall. Right? So I'm like, well, what's half of 11 3/4? So it's basically 5 7/8 is what I cut the width, and I just let it be as long as the paper is from the paper pack. Okay, I'm not gonna score it, because if I score it at 5 7/8, it's probably not going to be even. One side's going to be a little shorter than the other, because like I said, it's not quite 5 7/8. So I am going to just eyeball this, and I'd rather not do that, but that's what I got to do, or otherwise we have to do some math, and it is too early to do some math. So I'm just going to move this carefully, kind of give it a little crease, but then of course I'll use the bone folder to get a nicer crease. And they always show you, like, the reason you want to do your not bone folding, but scoring is because it looks better, right, than if you just bent it. But I did a pretty good job, and especially with the bone folder, it makes a nice crease. And even at that, I'm still a little bit, I have a little lip here, and that's okay. So we have that. And the other reason I made it this way is because I was like, oh, I can throw it through the Gemini Junior. I didn't want to go bring out an Empress or the large Gemini, so this is small enough to fit on here and just go through and give me my cut. So that's another reason I went with this size. So basically it's 5 7/8 inch square. So to do our edgeable, I'm going to use the main die, and I'm going to use the outer die. You don't have to run them through at the same time. You can do it separately. I'm going to glue them down, so I'm not going to be too fearful. I'm going to run them through at the same time. So it's just, I can leave it closed for now. But you want the die cutting edge obviously face down to your paper. And this one, I'm eyeballing it. You can go ahead and draw a line from where you think the middle of the paper is. Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you want to take a ruler, and I guess I could just hold it here and have the ruler help us go from one corner to the other corner. And just kind of eyeball this where the center might be. I think that's pretty good. It's a little bit more this way. But that's how I'm going to do to make it easy. I'm going to leave that ruler there for just a second while I get my tape. I rearranged some things when I put the Anna Griffin little mini over here. I had to move my supplies somewhere else, so I have to get used to that again. Now, I don't want this super close because you don't want it to completely cut or get nudged and double these over, because that would be really bad if this blade doubled over the other one. So okay, I already got that. I'm going to put more tape. Try to get these away from each other. Like if I put the tape it so that it's has some space there. So if they do end up doubling over, I'm pretty sure the machine will stop because it's not going to just like keep going. So I'm going to open this up. I'm just going to put it on my cutting surface. This is the cutting plate. And since that tape is sticking out, I'm just going to let it use that to help me hold that down. So I have some pretty good amount of tape on here. I'm good with that. I am going to use the metal plate just because this is kind of intricate and it might need that little extra. I don't know. It may not, but I'm going to use it anyway. Magnetic mat, plastic shim or white shim, and then your other cutting plate. And let's run it through the Gemini. Sounds good. And I can just reverse it too, but I'm just going to wait for it to come out the back. I was just thinking, I'm like, did I even cut this the way I wanted it to be? Oopsie. I think I wanted it to go this way, didn't I? We might have to turn around this thing, or maybe I'll just do it over again. Ay, Vianney. I totally forgot. Okay, let's see if this cut out. Oh, is there embossing to go along with this? Is there embossing on this one? Let's see. There is. Oh, is this symmetrical? Is this symmetrical? I'm just going to turn this thing around. I totally messed up, guys. Sorry, I meant to put this this way. Let's see what's going on. Let me see if this is symmetrical where I can pop this over the backside where I made my boo-boo and then emboss it the other direction. I will do that, but I'm not sure if it's that symmetrical. Let's see. I don't need that one because we already cut our cutting edge, so that's fine. Oopsie. Low tack tape, which sometimes is tackier than we like, isn't it, people? Okay, hold on. Let me... Well, I was going to clean this out, but yeah, I better clean it out. Again, where are my tools? Okay, here we go. Oh, I mean clean it out. It's just I'm going to roll this over here, and I'll sweep later. Now let me see. If I turn my card back around... What a bummer. Let's see if this... Is this identical? Please be identical. I don't know. You know what? Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I don't know that it's identical. I guess you can tell better from this side. Sorry, guys. I made a little boo-boo. You know what? You can tell from this side that it is pretty much identical. So what I'm going to do is tape that on this opposite side where I can see what I'm doing. You guys see that? How I can see the metal. Sorry. I can see these little pieces kind of tuck in there real nice. And they're not exactly the same, but pretty good that I don't think it's going to make a difference. Ay, ay. What was I thinking? Okay, let me turn this over carefully. I'm going to put some tape on that side so it doesn't move too much. And all we're doing this time is just the embossing. I'm not, oh, it moved. Oh, it moved. Hold on. This is a bummer, guys. Sorry. It'd be easier if I just started over, but of course I can't do that. So I'm just going to use what I have here. Okay. Now, embossing. So I have never, hardly ever used the rubber embossing mat, but what I do know about it is, let's put that there. If you're using the rubber embossing mat, you don't use the magnetic mat. So I'm just going to skip over that. I'm still going to use the metal one just to get a good push. And that one and this one, and let's see what happens. If I mess it up completely, I will just cut another paper. Ooh, that's nice and tight. If it looks crazy, we'll just start over. I'll just do it off camera, obviously, but sorry, guys. I forgot what angle I was going for. Turn that over. And you know what? I think that looks pretty good. Now I gotta take this off of here because I thought this was gonna help me, but it did not. Let me pick this off because I don't want to waste your time watching me try to get this tape off the back here, and I will be right back. Actually, it's coming. I just need enough gone so I can move that away. And then this guy. Careful, careful. We're gonna cut that last piece off anyway, so hey. Not too bad, guys. I think we're okay. I think I saved my little project. So remember which angle you're going for and then cut it that way. Ay, ay. Okay. Oh. That low-tack tape is coming back for its vengeance. All right, let me move this out of the way. Ugh, I'm gonna move all these things. And we're just gonna cut the rest of that paper off right here. The rest of this. So again, take your ruler. Hopefully, am I in frame? Okay, corner to corner and get our tool. And sorry, my head's gonna be in the way for a second because I have to really look at this. Okay, where are we at? Right there, right there. Has to be a little bit further up. Okay. And just from wherever your last cut was, just give it that little bit that you need to release it. Oh, I had a little bit. Oh, I went a little too far on that one. All right. So there's that. And then what we're going to do for the base of the card is, so let me fold it now, this opposite direction. So now you have that little edgeable there. Okay? Pretty. I like the embossing. It's very delicate. I mean, and this is nice, that pearl paper. I love this paper, by the way. It's double-sided. I'm going to mat and layer that just one time for now. But of course, you know, you can put tons of mat and layers, whatever you like. I figured to put this one inside. And then I'm going to put this pretty one, like cut one of these corners to put it right in here. Now, a lot of times they'll eyeball this. I've seen like on Crafters Companion, whenever they just go to cut something, they're like, oh, they'll just eyeball it and kind of give it a cut. I didn't want the paper to be this way, actually. That little word is on the top, but it should be down here. What you can basically do is say, okay, if this is 5 7/8-ish, right? I want this one to be 5 5/8 inch, so you can cut it down to 5 5/8 inch and then just cut a diagonal. So I'm going to trim that down. I'm gonna cut this one to 5 5/8, so I have to take a little bit off the edges, pop it in there, and I'm gonna cut this one down to 5 5/8, which I hate to do because I don't want to mess this up. But that's okay. I mean, basically, that corner of the paper is going to be gone. Let me think about this one. I might just eyeball this one just so I don't mess up my little paper. How about that? Let's eyeball it better because I don't want to waste this top corner. So what I should do is kind of go like this. And I could turn the paper over. Ay, ay, ay. You know what? I'm just going to give it a crease like this. And then I'm going to go to my paper trimmer and cut that down. And maybe I'll use this guy. I tell you, the guillotine, I feel like, is not very exact, you guys. Every time I've used this thing, I feel like I'm not doing what I want to do, but let's try it. Even right now, especially, well, you know what? That's okay. So let me feel over that little corner. What I was trying to do is, and hopefully that's straight. We're completely, and hold this plastic part down. That's what makes a big difference before you cut it. If you don't hold that down and you go to cut it, it's gonna move, and then your paper's gonna be completely not what you wanted. And let me show you guys what this looks like. If that worked out. That worked out pretty good. I think I'm gonna still have to trim a little bit off this edge. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna trim this one down to 5 5/8 and I will be right back. Okay, so that is just one way to use the edgeable. I'm gonna put this to the side and we'll finish up the base card before I lose all these pieces. You can, you know, cut both sides of the edgeables out if you just wanna use it like as a decorative piece, or cut the other side out. However you need to use it, you can do that. So cut this down to 5 5/8, and I would like to just stick this down without having to wait for glue. So let's see. Have this Tombow. What do you guys think of Tombow anymore? I remember back in the day it was like the best, and everyone's like, oh, I hate it now. So I don't know if there's better things and that's why people don't like it, or did they redo their format? I don't know, but you know what I'm gonna do? Hold on. So really pretty, and I went with the purple because I'm going to make more purple flowers, and I went with the blue base card to kind of coordinate obviously with the paper pack. So I just wanted to bring in both of those things. And then we have our little area, and I just trimmed a little more off this, like this way, because it was a little bit crooked, remember? So I did that, and it works out perfect now. And again, that was pretty much just eyeballing it, but you know, do whatever you have to do. Like I said, if you just have paper that you don't, you know, mind trimming the whole thing down, then I would trim it down to 5 5/8 and then just cut it straight in half so you have your halves. I knew this one's gonna be, you know what I have to do? Line it up there first. I don't know. Maybe I should have used a wet glue on this one. See, it's already moving around on me. It's a little bit crooked. I can't believe next weekend I'm already going to be in the Grand Canyon. I was just realizing, I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, Thanksgiving weekend's coming up. And we always like going, well, not always. It's just been a little tradition we've been doing the last couple of years during Thanksgiving, because there's nothing else to do. And then we're back home by Turkey Day, and I'm popping a turkey. So, okay, so that's the base card. Pretty, right? You can mat or layer as much as you like, do whatever you like, but that's really pretty. I like that. Okay, and you can see I saved our boo-boo. Not too bad, huh? All right. So what I'm going to do right now is, let me put these up here because we will need this in a little bit here. I like to just get rid of the stuff we already used that I don't need again. Oops, sorry guys, that was really loud. I threw a paper pack down. Okay, so I have some of the foam that was just extra in the front, remember? And these two pieces. We have our stamens, which we don't need quite yet. And then we're going to have our flowers. And so what I'm going to do is plug in my little... I don't know if I just want one of each of these, or I don't, this one, depending on how big that gets. Let's see. Anyway, I'll plug in my little travel iron, and basically these are super easy. You just cut them with your basic sandwich and through the foam, and you're good to go. You can even double up the foam if you want, so to make it faster. But what I will do is I'll probably do one flower in this pink, because that's pretty much, I have enough for like one flower. And how I'm gonna do this, make it real easy. I'll just get the strip like this, and the other one too, but I'll cut out 2 of that one. I'm only going to cut out 1 layer of each, which you don't really want to layer it up a lot more, but maybe, we'll see. If I have room to make like another outer one, I'll do that. I think so. I think I'll have room to make 2 of the bigger one, and then, right. However you want. You can do these 3, you can do all 4, you can do these 3, you can do just these 2 little, whatever you want for the size of flower you're looking for, but no, it's going to shrink, so it needs to be a good size there. And plastic shim, magnetic shim, and the other cutting plate where'd that go? Okay, so I'm going to put the other cutting plate and then run it through, and I'll be right back. Okay. And I know Craig was saying you could use them for regular paper flowers too. It's just a little different because it's not going to have like, just the way it's made. It's not made to emboss or to get an extra like layer out of it. It's just what it is, right? So I'm going to do the same thing for the other set of flowers. I'm going to cut out as many petals as I can to make 2 different purple flowers. But look how easily they just cut out. So cute. Like I said, I'll probably go back and go ahead and make another of the outside one. And I'll be back when everything's cut out. Okay, so I have all my little flower forming tools. Look at this. It's just been sitting there. It's already like nasty looking. This, literally, I just bought it, right? Look at, just from the sun hitting it. It's just sitting on my desk here. So this is just any old foam that they send you with the Crafter's Companion kit. So it's like that foam. I have this little rubber mat. It came with this little finger tool, so you don't have to crimp the things yourself for too long. And then, of course, all the ball tools. And I already have some flower forming tools from, I think, McGill, and then I bought the ones from Heartfelt Creations on a whim because I'm like, yes, I'll buy them whenever I get at an expo. They always give you some kind of hookup, so I bought them. But so I do have those too. I did cut these double because I just folded the paper over and I try to be, you know, I could have moved this up a little more, but try to be a little tight with the paper. But you can cut 2 pieces at once, so that's 2 pieces there, 2 pieces here, and I'm gonna hopefully make 2 4-layer flowers out of those. I didn't do an extra layer like I did with the little pink guy. I did. I was able to cut out an extra center and an extra outer one for that little guy. Let me put this stuff to the side, and I'm gonna sit down because this is gonna get real, people. All right, this is on. I had it on max, but I turned it down. And I know I was watching Craig one time, and I guess he was getting frustrated with how slow it was going, so he's like cranked it up. But I mean, that's pretty darn hot. So. And it always makes me nervous to see an iron. And they're like crafting the irons right there. Oh, scary. All right, I'm gonna keep these guys next to me. I'm gonna have to separate these out in just a second, but let's start with, like, let's say this guy. I have no idea what I wanna do. You can add some ink around the edges, whatever you like. I don't even know which tool I'm gonna use for this one. That's the largest one in this set, so I'm gonna go with these middle-sized tools because it's gonna get kind of small. And I don't know if you can see how quickly it reacts, but there we go. I think that's probably as small as it's going to get. And so what Sarah likes to do is just kind of stack them up on top of each other. Something like that. And then you take your little tool. I'm holding on to the middle part. And you don't have to do this. You don't have to crunch them if you don't want to. You can just use the ball tools and let those help you out. And I'm going to open it back up. If you put it back on the heat, it is going to just undo whatever you did. So if you messed up or you feel like, hey, maybe I don't like that, I'm just using this ball tool to kind of round out the kind of middle. And it's already getting harder. And if you wanted to, you can warm up your tool instead of putting this back on there, and it will help it do its thing. So there's one. I'm gonna put that to the side. Oh, another thing is you can use your foam and just kind of push it into the foam, but that doesn't really work out for this flower. I think this flower needs to be kind of like this, so I'm not going to do that too much. So that's what I'm going to do to all the layers of that same flower, right? Just use the smaller sides for like the smaller pieces. And then this other guy, let's start off with the big one just so you can see it. Again, hold it up against your whatever you're using to heat. Ooh, that is hot. And it looks melted down enough. And again, layer them up. Give them a little pinch. Come in here and just roll it, roll it, roll it if you want. If you don't want to, you know, you don't have to. I did a little work there and knocked some stuff over there. And again, you can use the ball tool in the centers if you want. This thing is hard to tell where the center is now. It's kind of, there we go. Got a little wonky. And if you really want to, again, I'm going to heat this up and just push it down into itself. But both of these really aren't the kind of flower you're going to do this with. I know we have other flowers that you basically push down in the center and that's how you get it doing what you want it to do. But this one doesn't have a lot of center, so there's really no reason to do that. But again, just shape it around the ball tool if you want. And if you feel like you messed it up, like I said, just put it back on the heat and it will undo your little work. Okay? So I'm going to do that to all of them and I'll be right back. Okay, guys, this is the part, I have all my pieces. This is the part where I'm just like, because they give you these stamens or whatever you want to call them. Well, there are stamens, or pretend stamens. But anyway, they're double-sided, so you can't use one side and poke it through. They don't give you the wire to do that with. I mean, there's a little bit of wire on here. I guess you could reuse if you want, but the other thing is these are really, really thin in the center. So I don't know how you're supposed to poke through that and get it together. So you just have to be very careful. So as I was working with this, I don't know if you can see, I ripped off some of the petals. So as I'm rubbing it, it's like, oh no, petal ripped off. So I'm going to use a poking tool. This one is still kind of large for this. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. And then I have a a piece of floral wire that I got from like the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna trim this down. Where are my cutters? Oh, good. I always have like these little 3-in-1 cutters, so I'm gonna trim this down a little bit just to have a smaller piece to work with. But again, if you just have some thin wire, or if you do any kind of beading, you have like beading wire, that should work. This part is where I get like scared because I feel like I'm gonna go right through these things. But start with the small one because I'm gonna layer it up in here. I know Sarah kind of stacks them and then she sticks it through, but then I've seen where she misses one, so I'm gonna do them one at a time. I'm looking for the very center of this thing, just about, and I'm not gonna push super through it, but a little, you know, enough to get this poking tool through it. And then I'll bring the other one, and I'll arrange it at the end. Like I'll twist and turn them the way I like them. And I'm going from the smallest to the largest. And here somewhere. It's not super delicate because this stuff is foam. It's not just paper, or if it tears, it kind of has some give. But I still like to be careful with it. And poke through there. And then I have 2 left. I'm doing this one. Like I said, before I finish it up, I'll give it a little zhuzh, a little adjustment. And I'm going to do the exact same with the other flower, okay? So this one I had 2 centers, 2 outer parts. It actually looks pretty already, but if I wanted to kind of mess with it to arrange my petals a little differently, we can do that. These 2 are kind of right with each other, so I kind of want to offset those. All right. So all we did with this was make a hole. But what I'm going to do right now is get some of these stamens. And I don't know. Let's go with like the gold ones. Oh, there's 2 little sets of each one. Again, they're super tied together, so just kind of open that up, because if I would just pull them, but then the other side is there. And grab a few, I don't know, 3. If you do 3, obviously it's going to overlap to 6, right? So I'm going to get my piece of wire and just put that over. And I'm going to pull this as tight as I can so that the green isn't going to be super noticeable when we go to use it. So I'm crimping it, I'm trying. Now, I'm glad that I have this little tool because that will help me get close, and I'm using that crimping part of it to get super close here. But if you don't have a tool like this, you're just going to have to try to do it with your hands and get as close as you can to that. Hopefully you see what I'm doing. And then you can start twisting. Obviously there's going to be a lot of extra, we don't need all of this. I'm just twisting it kind of poorly at this moment because I just want to get it through this when I'm done here. So that's okay. Let me get this a little twisted a little bit better. And if you have 2 of these tools, it's even better because you can have one holding the other side and twist them in the opposite directions. Okay. So that's why I'm not sure the pokey tool helps you, but at the same time you still have to take it off of here, but you know. I'm going right to the center, trying to hold them all together. Keep an eye out. And that's why Sarah, I think when she gets it, she kind of gives it a really good poke. So when you pull it out, I can still see the hole. And then I'm going to stick these guys right into the hole. Okay? Hopefully that was okay. And then I'm going to pull it through. Not all the way through, obviously. But enough. And that's basically your flower. I'm going to do the same thing for both. But like I said, they're not glued down or anything, so I can mess with this and make it a little nicer, which is what I'm going to do. And so I'm going to keep playing with these until they look better and, like, you know, more circular. However, I'm going to do the other 2 the exact same way, and I will be right back. Before I finish up the card, I'm going to cut out one of these little guys. I don't know where they get this dark purple. Like, they keep showing it, and they don't have a dark purple in their paper pack. So it's kind of a bummer, but maybe I should go through my papers and find out. I just use the beige because I'm like, I use a lot of blue, I use a lot of purple. So even though it's kind of a peachy, weird color to use, and I didn't actually mean to do what I just did, I want to emboss this. So before I'm done with this, I'm going to pop it back in here. I'm going to place that back inside itself. Use the rubber embossing mat. Oops. And when you use the rubber embossing mat, you do not use the magnetic mat. And I'm just using the plastic shim. I'm gonna run that through one more time. So I finished up my little flowers, and of course, like I told you, they're delicate. When you're pushing that pin through, or they can tear. And guess what? One of mine tore, but I'll show you. I'm just going to use it anyway. But okay, I just brought that out and it's stuck to here. So here it is. Really pretty. And what's cool about this one, it's kind of interesting, is it has like this weird little extra piece on the outside. And they glue it down or glue it up however you want. If you want down this way or up the other direction. I don't know. Every time I've seen them use it, they put it downwards, but probably because it's so delicate. But I'm going to put it up. Why not? That's really pretty. Okay, so I'm going to put this to the side. Try not to lose these guys. Oh my gosh. Alright guys, we're almost there. I do not have a sentiment on this, but of course, it can just be a pretty card. We can add a sentiment later. I mean, that's why I bought those sentiment sets, because I'm like, I hardly ever put sentiments in my cards. So I kind of threw this together already just to see what I wanted to do. And look how pretty that is. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. And then, you know, there's that oval, like Regal oval frames. So that'd be pretty to cut one of those out and put it on here and then put these guys on top. I mean, there's lots of things you can do with this. But hot glue is probably the way to go. Since I didn't get my glue gun, I am going to use the 3D glue gel. Just because it's thick and it'll hold on and it'll be great. But I do want to show you how that one flower tore, and I'll show you that in just a second. So I kind of planned this out, and I forgot I had these little guys, probably from AliExpress or something, I don't know, that maybe I can stick in here too. The color green on them is kind of not what I would go for, but they're here, so I don't know why they're always sitting here. I have a little bunch of them. So I might add them in the background too. So what I'm gonna do is move some of these things off. I'm gonna take this one over here, and literally it was just sitting there. I went to pick it up. The back flower ripped off of this, the back two layers. So, you know, just kind of be careful with this stuff. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, so I'm just gonna put globs of glue everywhere and then try to work it. So if I was gonna put these guys in the background, which I could just cut off these ends. I don't know, of course I just use these tools and I don't know where they are right now, so I'm just going to glue that down. And maybe stick this one down here. And I did like this one right here, so I'm going to make sure it's touching that 3D glue gel. Oh, this one's so pretty. And then, this the one that tore? Yes, it is the one that tore, so I just want to make sure that this one is really touching everything so that it doesn't continue to fall apart. So I'm really pushing that into the glue gel, and then this one. So pretty. Getting that into that glue gel. It does look different now that there's glue and I'm sticking it down than when you saw it was kind of more freeform. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. And the glue gel, obviously you have time to kind of work it and mess around if you don't like something. I'm just trying to cover up that middle. Of course we don't want those green stems showing. If you have silver stuff, that'll probably be better. And then we have this little guy, and she's so cute. I don't know where I want to put her. I made it so that I can... Oh, you can put her right in there if you wanted to. Oh my gosh. I was going to put her down here. There's already a little butterfly down there in the paper, though. Oh, you guys, I don't know what to do. This is so pretty. I love it. Yeah, I'll move those that way. Put them right in there? I don't know. Put these wherever you like. Ooh, I can put it over there, too. A good dollop of that glue gel. Again, you can put this into a syringe. I kept buying it the whole kit with the syringe, but you don't need that every time. It's $2 more to come with the syringe. So if you already have one, you know, if you bought it one time. Oh gosh, I don't know where to put this. No. I kind of want it to go in here. Let me look at this way. Yeah, I kind of want it in here, but then that... Yeah, that's fine. I'll do it like this. Again, that glue gel is really good, so I'm just going to keep it there. Of course, I didn't take out the little extra pieces of my butterfly. I will do that very soon. Oh, it's so crowded there, though. What if I brought her down here? And then she looks like an afterthought. Well, you know what? That's okay. I will put her down here. Even though I don't really want, like, a bunch of piles of things, but that way it looks like she's going towards the flowers, right? Just scrape that glue gel off and reuse it. Yeah, that's okay, because then it looks like she wants to go into the little flowers, right? She's visiting these flowers. So there it is, guys. The vintage lace to make a card. This took a little longer than I would like, even though, I mean, those flowers do work up quickly, but, you know, you're waiting for to do all the kind of zhuzhing and all that. It does take a little minute, but I'm really happy with this set. I love it. I love the look of all this, so I'm happy with the vintage lace collection as a total. And if you guys have it, let me know what you've done with it. If you want to see more of it, I will try and do that. I still need to decorate this book, and it's kind of funny that I've been sitting on this for like almost a week now and haven't finished decorating or haven't decorated, and it should tell me what I think of it. As far as like using this kind of thing, the precious memories, like I just got burned out of mini albums a long time ago, so I love them, but I got burned out of them, so it's really hard for me to get back to that. But I will finish it, guys, so hopefully in this next week, I guess, before Thanksgiving break. That would be great. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, let me know, but I am really happy with the way this came out. It has a lot going on, and I think it's a pretty card. And thanks for watching. Bye now.